A very good morning, children. After a long time, we are meeting. I will giving you some project works. So, project works are also very important for you. You have to learn the diagrams and you have to learn the procedure of the experiments and you have to learn how to present a experiment in the records. So, don't neglect the homework that I am giving you, the project works. That you have to write neatly, you have to learn the diagrams, and you should know how to write the procedure in a serial wise, or what is the aim, what are the materials required, the procedure and the conclusion. All these are points, side headings are very important for you. And the diagrams, most of the children are not showing interest in the diagrams. Only the children, those who are the class toppers, they are drawing very neatly. Others are just drawing for my sake. It's not like that. When you go to the higher classes, they are very useful for you, know. So please, children, whatever project works I have given you till now, that all you should be updated. Any project whatever I have given, that you should learn immediately. Sometimes they may be coming as 8 marks questions in your exam. So when you know the experiment, when you know the diagram, then you get the 8 marks. If you forgot the diagram and if you write only the matter, then you will not get the full marks. It's okay. So please go through the homeworks regularly and send me the homework. While sending the homework, you have to write your name, class, session. Especially 6th class boys are not sending me the homeworks regularly. Many of the students. So I want everyone should do the homeworks and they should send me regularly. So before going into the next lesson, till now we have finished 12 lessons, right? Now we are going to start lesson number 13. So in 12 lessons, only the first 2 lessons we have given you for the term 1 examination. Then what about the remaining lessons? Are you learning about this? No. When teacher asks, suppose next lesson I am going to tell you, you have to write, then you will read, otherwise you will not read. Not like the children. So remaining lessons also you should learn. So learning in the sense, not the question answers only from the workbook. You have to read the textbooks. Do you know boxes are there? And the matter that is at the end of the paper is also very important. So all this you should have a glance. Okay. Today's homework is that in lesson number 12 only some of the questions I have given you homework. So remaining questions 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th. So 5 questions. Lesson number 12, that is page number 121. Have a look here. Page number 121. 10th question, 11th question, 12th, 13th, 14th. These 5 questions you have to learn and write one time neatly. This is your homework for today. Now we'll go to lesson number 13. Learning how to measure. Open the textbook. When I am reading the lesson, you have to observe. Rashid went to a cloth shop with his mother to buy cloths. The cloth merchant used a metal rod to measure the length of the cloth. Rashid asked his mother what that metal rod was and why did the merchant use it. Mother told him that the metal rod was a meter scale that was used to measure lengths. Later, both of them went to a flower market and purchased a string of jasmine flowers. While cutting the jasmine flower string, the woman selling the flowers measured its length with her cubit. Rashid was confused and started thinking, why was a meter scale used to measure the length of a cloth? Why did the woman use her hand to measure the length of jasmine flower string? Which method is correct? How can we decide the correct method of measurement? So here the lesson goes around the measurement. So what is measurement? Learning how to measure, they have said. This is all about the measurement. Measurement is nothing but to determine the quantity or the size or the capacity. This all comes under the measurement. Here this boy went with his mother to a cloth shop. Here in the shop, the person who is selling the clothes is known as merchant. He was measuring the cloth with a metal rod. And later on they went to a flower market. Here the woman is measuring the flowers with her hand in this way. They measure the flowers like flower string like this, no? So there was a difference between both measurements. Then he got a doubt. Why only metal rod is used to measure the cloth, and why does the woman is not using the metal rod? Which one is correct? How do you decide? So all these the questions were roaming in the mind of Rashid. You might have observed many situations of measurements of length as in above examples, where sometimes we use measurements and sometimes hands, foot, palms, etc. So you might have come across with this experience. Yes. When you go to a cloth shop, if you want to buy a piece of cloth, then they will be measured with a scale, meter rod. When you go to a flower shop, you can see the woman. And when you buy some grocery, then it will be measured in another way. And sometimes some instruments, and sometimes we'll use hands, and sometimes we'll use palms, etc. So like this, different types of measurements are there, and all the measuring instruments are not same, they are different. Right? Some more examples where we use instruments to measure and length, and some examples where we don't use any instruments but use foot, hands, span, palm, etc. to measure the length. So sometimes in some places instruments are used to measure, and in some places instruments are not used. Discuss which method is correct with your friends and why you think that a particular method is correct. So here we have learned that different methods are there. So which one is correct? Let us see now. Page number 124. Measuring lengths. Measure the length of one side of a table using your hand span. Ask your classmate to do the same. Record the length of the table in terms of number of hand span in table number 1. Here they have given the table number 1. And we have to measure the table with the hand span. So if you measure like this, this is called as a hand span. Now suppose, think this is a table. This is the hand span. 1, 2. So they have to write name of the student and the number of hand span. Now suppose this is a table and I have measured with the hand span, then I got 2 hand spans. So here I will write a 2. And if the same table is measured by another person, it may come 2 end of hand span, otherwise 1 end of hand span, otherwise 3 hand spans. Like this, different measurements will be there. Do all of you get the same number of hand spans for the length of the table? No. Who got more number of hand span? Here we have not written the names. If suppose this was in the classroom, then we could have written the names and the number of hand span. Suppose think, here first it is my hand, and later on your hand and your friend hands. Then obviously my hand spans will be more. Why is there a difference in the number of hand spans though you measured the same table? We have measured the same table, but the number of hand spans is different. Why? Because it depends upon the size of the hand. My hand measures only 2 hand spans, and if you take a 4 years baby, her hand will be very small and her hand spans will be 5. So it depends upon the size of the hand. The measurement depends upon the size of the hand when you take only the hand span measurement. Right. Now find the length of your classroom using your foot span. Enter your observation in the terms of number of foot spans in the table. Foot spans means this is called as a foot span. This is the foot span. ఎన్ని అడుగులు. Suppose you walk in your room from this corner to that corner. Just count. You keep your leg like this. You'll walk. Next keep one more leg. Then next keep another leg. Right leg, left leg, right leg, left leg like this. And you calculate. Some of them may get 10 foot spans. And some of them may get 12 foot spans. And some of them may get a 9 foot span. The foot spans will be different. Is the number of foot spans same when different students measure the length of the classroom? Yes. Number of foot spans is not same. They are very different. Who got more number of foot spans? Why? Who got least number of foot spans? Why? This is also like same like hand span. The person who is having a long legs will get the number of foot spans lesser. And the person who is having small foot, then the number of foot spans will be more while measuring the length of the classroom. It is also depends upon the size of the foot. We often use these types of conventional methods to measure certain lengths. So where do you use these foot spans? When you measure the lengths. For example, cubits for the length of a string of flowers and length and breadth of a playground using strides. So when you measure the flowers, cubits are used. And when you measure the length and breadth of a ground, strides are used. Similarly, we use this system of measurement while playing Sirragona Gilli Danda. Yes, when you play the Sirragona Gilli Danda, these types of handspan, foot spans are used. Otherwise, you take the stick no strides, with that you will be measuring. Where the length of the stick is used as a unit to measure the desired distance. Yes, we'll take a stick and with the help of the stick, you'll measure the difference. You can see at the picture foot span, hand span and the cubit. This is called as cubit. This is called as hand span. And the foot one is called as foot span. You find out number of hand spans and the foot spans. You measure in your house. Take a table and measure with your hand span, and you take your sister's hand span or your mother or your father. Then you find whether all the 4 members got the same hand spans while measuring the table, and you have to fill up this one. Okay, already I gave you homework, but again you have to write this table also. Take your parents' help, take a table, measure the table with the hand span, write number of hand spans while measuring the table, and you note down in the table number 1. In the same way, table number 2, you find the length of your room with the foot span. With the foot span, you just walk from one corner to another corner and find out how many foot spans does your room carries. Ask your small sister or brother, ask them to walk from one corner to another corner, then calculate the number of foot spans. Ask your parents also. Then you find the differences. Then again you note down in the table number 2. How many foot spans does your room contains? Your foot span, your sisters, your mother's, your father, and here hand span. And you will be knowing the difference, why the difference has occurred. As I told that the difference is because it depends upon the size of the leg and size of the foot and the size of the hand. Clear? So the homework is lesson number 12, 5 questions as well as these 2 tables. This is all for today. Write neatly, mention the name, class and session. Thank you, children.